While we don't know too much about Dying Light the Beast just yet, we do know what will make it truly amazing. Let's take a look back into Dying Light 1, where we were originally in the shoes of Kyle Crane. The first things you may notice when revisiting the first game is the undeniably spectacular atmosphere that was crafted, as well as the incredible soundtrack. While these two things contributed heavily to the immersion we all felt when playing this game, there's one more thing that tops it all: these amazing ragdoll physics. If any of you have ever played a Rockstar game like Red Dead 2, you know exactly what I'm talking about and why ragdoll physics are awesome and make games 10 times more fun than if they had bad ones, like Dying Light 2. So this effectively marks the very first item on my wish list for Dying Light the Beast. I want there to be incredible physics in this game like there were in Dying Light 1. I know Techland's been hard at work on this game, improving all of the elements and mechanics that were created for Dying Light 2, so I do have high hopes that Techland took this under serious consideration when creating this standalone title. Because honestly, most of us, when we played Dying Light 2, couldn't quite put our finger on why it didn't capture the feel of the original game, and I think this is one of the biggest reasons. Okay, now that we've covered that part, I want to discuss how we all know by now Dying Light 2's story wasn't good and left a massive dent in the community's perception of and interest in the Dying Light lore. I think one of the largest letdowns of the story was the hyper-focus on human storylines instead of further developing the reasons behind the virus and why certain people develop into volatiles. Everybody loves zombies, but I think it would be awesome if Techland found a way to integrate more of a zombie-focused story in Dying Light the Beast. This way we won't get that impression that we're playing a mediocre game with zombies thrown in last second simply to call it a Dying Light game. With early interviews and story details getting revealed, it sounds like we might be getting yet another human-focused story with little zombie lore thrown into the mix, but again, it is just early information and we don't have too much to work with at this point. Now all we can really do is speculate and wait. And one thing I would like to note about this earlier information that you might hear from other YouTubers or your friends is not to jump on a bandwagon against Techland should there be any details you don't like, because at the end of the day, it is stuff that could be very subject to change or simply not true. Right now, I'd say it's a great time to express your constructive criticism about foundational mechanics in Dying Light 2 that are likely transferring over to Dying Light the Beast. And hey, you never know when Techland's watching, so drop your comments on what you want to see changed in Dying Light the Beast from Dying Light 2. The next thing that I believe will make this game truly amazing is creating a proper identity for it. What I mean by that is I want to feel like I'm playing as a different character. I don't want to feel like I'm playing as Aiden from Dying Light 2. I want to feel like I'm playing as Kyle Crane. And I'm not talking just voice lines. I want to see new animations for Kyle Crane. As we know from the first game, he was like trained in martial arts or something, so he knows how to move around zombies better than Aiden did. I just hope Techland is developing enough animations to give Kyle Crane enough character that we know we're playing as him. But I am curious though, because they've kind of dug themselves in a bit of a hole as they made them sound so similar, especially when they're doing their grunts and stuff or in combat. I honestly thought Aiden was Kyle when I first started playing Dying Light 2. So that means if they ever do end up interacting and meeting each other, that might just be a little bit confusing to the ears. Moving on, I think it is super important for Techland to continue its spectacular communication with the community. I think this earned them a lot of respect and provided the community with some quality content. So continuing that trend for Dying Light the Beast will make it that much better. We're gonna take one more trip back to Harran in Dying Light 1 for this very last wish. The last thing that will make Dying Light the Beast an amazing game is a general, grittier approach. In Dying Light 1, we see the colors, the atmosphere, even the voice acting is a much grittier way of storytelling, and this is what captured my interest in this game. With Dying Light 2, we had that feeling of hope, the more hopeful soundtracks, the happier, more cartoonish color grading. It didn't invest me into the game. It didn't grab me in and say, hey, you're in a zombie apocalypse now. You're in this la-di-da-di-da world that sucks. I think that most of the community will agree with this, that the darker storytelling is what we prefer. It fits the Dying Light franchise better than a happier one. I genuinely believe if Techland improves those ragdoll physics, if they make the story a banger story, if they continue their awesome communication and content updates, and if they harness that darkness and cultivate a dark, gritty, and maybe even realistic story, Dying Light the Beast will be the best Dying Light game that we have played yet. I'm very curious to hear what you all think of what I said in this video, and I want to see all of the things you guys want to happen in Dying Light the Beast. If you like Dying Light content and you want to see more of it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's it from me. I will see you all in the next video.